Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the G.I. Joe Classified number 150 Heavy Duty. I feel like it's been forever since I had a G.I. Joe Classified to review. It really hasn't been that long. I think I got the ones not too long ago. But anyway, we're going to take a look at this guy. We're going to see everything that he comes with. He's got two head sculpts. I have no heavy duty, so I have no O-ring, nothing like that. I'm pretty sure I have a version of him, but who knows. So anyway, take a look at everything. He's in this very plain old box. Here we have some artwork of him screaming. Here we have the file card, the QR code that leads you straight to hell. And then we have his attributes right there. You can see number 150. But again, looking at this, we can see everything. And I gotta say, I've never really liked this character, but he does have a couple good-looking head sculpts. So we're gonna take a look at them and see how they are. And then here we have the back, and we can kind of see everything right there. This guy is gonna be loaded out with really, really heavy artillery stuff. I'm more excited to pop off those missile launchers so they can be just like the movie Commando. But here we have a couple other things that we're just kind of quickly looking at. But anyway, let's get into this because there's no reason to look at me because, again, we want to take a look at this figure, see how he is, and see if he holds up to the rest of the G.I. Joe Classified. So let's get to this, but before we do, please take a second. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a G.I. Joe Classified. And it looks like there may be one here and four here or three here. Who knows? I just want to get more plastic Joes in my hand. Classified, that is. Alright, so now he's out of his plastic prison. And you can see there's a lot of stuff going on here. A lot crammed into this. So on the back of the box, again, I really didn't look too much at it, but when I was kind of pointing this stuff out, this is actually the directions on how to put this whole contraption together, so people aren't complaining too much about it. So looks like a little snap into there, whatever. We'll get to that in a second. I think we'll be able to probably figure this out fairly easily. So anyway, quickly looking at everything. We start with the accessories, as we always do. Now, he comes with the same missiles that Heavy Metal, why can't I think of his name? Metalhead comes with. They are painted green. All right, we have a little bit of detail in it. You can see how the rockets are supposed to look, and then they have this little port, so you can put the blast effect onto it to make it look like it is firing. Here is the blast effect. It just is going to plug directly into here, and we'll get to that in a second. And these things just plug straight on like that. So looking at it here, all we have is the exact same size of every single one of them, where Metalhead comes with a couple different sizes. So I think you will be able to mix and match if that's something that you wish to do. You want to have a different type of blast effect, make it look a little longer. You just don't have bigger missiles or rockets, whatever they are. And we do have, 8 different ones. So they're giving you a lot of that. So you can have 4 of them all launching at the same time, or 8 launching all at the same time. Here we have one of his knives. So he has 2 of these knives. And I have to say they look pretty good. They're not too thick here, and they're also not going to be sharp. Pliability, they are soft enough that they're not going to hurt a kid that's 4 and under, although hopefully they don't swallow it. But they're straight, and that's all that matters. You have the I don't know why I lost my train of thought. The blade, which is painted, it's serrated on one side. You do have a couple little holes right here, so I'm wondering how that connects into it. If you're going to connect a string onto it, or if it goes somehow onto them. I'm assuming there's got to be a sheath somewhere on them. So both the knives are the exact same, and I believe this is a completely new knife. I don't remember seeing it all. Look at the handle has some nice texture to it, and even going around here. So he comes with a couple fists, which I do like the fact that they're throwing in some extra hands. I don't need a whole lot of hands. But here now we have a couple black hands. So you could probably use them with Stalker. I'm not sure if you can use it with Roadblock. as he's a much bigger figure. I'm not sure if the hands fit. But looking at these hands here, you got the veins just all running through, the top of the fists. All right. You can see the detail right there, all on the fingernails. But they do a really good job of showing you an actual clenched fist. That you have those veins just kind of popping through there. We have a nice ammo chute. Looks like it is the exact same one that comes with the Saw Viper, as I'm looking at the Saw Viper right next to me. Nice and long, very pliable, and that's just going to kind of plug right into it. And again, just a little bit of detail on it makes it go really far. And I think something like this works better. I mean, it's nice to have the bullet belts, but this here, you don't have to worry about all the bullets being painted, or maybe not painted, and then people getting upset that, hey, you know what, they didn't even bother painting them. I think we know how collectors are. All right. So we have this new set of headsets. New mold of headsets. Or a headset. You know what, I'm done. It is pliable enough. It looks like, hopefully it should fit on most of the characters' heads here. Right? It's made to look like up at the top here. It can be adjusted along with maybe a little bit of padding. The earpieces are clearly padded. I would assume this is probably to prevent from blowing out his eardrums more than just a regular headset. But the detail on it is actually really good. If I went and grabbed one of my kids' gaming headsets, I think we'd see a lot of this detail in it. Looks like you have a wire that's kind of running through there. It looks like it's like that on both sides. But again, really nice. I like that detail. And then we have a sight. So you got this little bit of red paint right here. All right, it's a target. Looks like a targeting system. It is weird. I don't know why the targeting system would be on the outside. But maybe that's how it's supposed to be. Oh, I mean, it's clearly supposed to be, but you can actually see a little bit of detail right there. I wonder if I hit it with a black light. A lot of their stuff you hit with a black light and it shows up better. This one, not so much. So, looking at that, it does have some detail on it. It almost looks a little bit like the Imperial symbol. It is fairly pliable. Looks like it's going to connect to around his ear over here. But a nice little detail in it. Now, I wonder how well this is going to hold on. This kind of reminds me of a lot of the glasses they use, which we all know are usually just trash. Although the last set was actually pretty good. The ones that came with leather neck. All right. So let's put this contraption together. And then we'll take a look at the head sculpt. Well, you can take a look at the head sculpt first. So this is the first head sculpt. He's got this nice goatee, wraps all the way around his flat top. An earring there. So he does have dual earrings. A nice cut in his hairline. But the texture on this is actually really good. Alright. I think it really gives a really nice detail. And the way that it's faded down. I mean, this is a really good head sculpt. And the hair is real nice too. Eyes look like he's looking straight like he's supposed to. I don't see any issues with the paint. Like no paint rub. Nothing's missing. But yeah, this is a really good head sculpt. And I thought so from the moment we saw it. But looking at it in hand, it is an extremely nice one. Alright. Whew. I'm excited for these things. I love Commando. It's one of my favorite Arnold movies. So here we have M202 Quad Burst. Invention number 2 in D minor. So I did watch Bobby B's review earlier. And he's supposed to be some sort of, I think, classical musician. So that's kind of what it is referring to. It is very square, much like the, again, the Commando one that he uses. you're going to be able to kind of pop this up against the... I don't think you want that against your shoulder, because here's going to be your back blast, and that's the last thing that you're going to want. But you do have a handle here. I'm interested to see how I'm going to be able to get him to carry it without blowing off his own arm. All right, where it looks like this thing would actually flip up. That's going to go over the shoulder. All right, you know what? I'm thinking too much. So anyway, here are the blasts. As you can see, they're kind of not full of not an octagon, but a I'm not going to say the other one. So we can take one blast effect here. All right, and we take the missile and we kind of pop the missile right in there. All right, so now it looks like it's actually firing. And like I said, if you do have Metalhead, you can use one of his and make it shooting a little bit further. I don't know why they didn't give you a longer one. As for the missiles, they kind of stay in there just by the size of them. But they don't stay straight. So there's no peg at the end. It does look like they stay in though. Well, at least that one is. I wonder if they all do. Okay, so they both don't. So it would have been really nice. We complained about this with Metalhead also. I know Bobby B mentioned it too. There should have been a way that they should just stay in there, right? That they should have just stayed directly in, or have this open and have it so it looks like they're being locked, so they can be loaded from the back, the same way that Bazooka's bazooka is. All right. So then we have these two miniguns, and as you can see, it's not straight. This is one of those things that might need to be heated up. It's not awful. It's not super rubbery, but it is soft enough that it is bendable. So looking at this quickly here, there's no blast. Why do you not have a blast? Why is the top one not just one little blast effect? Or a port for blast. Alright, so it looks like a nice minigun. I don't mind the design. It's very small here. You can see just the wiring throughout it. And then it's going to plug directly into there. And I was trying to figure out what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the rock and roll that I got that was I don't remember if it was a Lego G.I. Joe, and it wasn't classified, obviously, back from, I would say, the early 2000s. But it was a whole, again, I think it was Lego, actually. Yeah, that's what this reminds me of, this whole gun and everything. But you can see it's just going to pop right in there. And because it's very pliable, I don't think you're going to have to worry about it, like, snapping. Here we have what I'm going to assume is for his back. And that's why we have instructions right here. And I'll be looking at it as we kind of put this thing together. So that thing is going to peg directly into his back. Oh, this is going to be the front of him for his protection, I think. Man, there seems to be a lot going on here. As we can kind of... Not only do you have to be super strong to carry this thing around, you're literally testing fate to kill yourself. So, all right, we'll take a look at this here. And this really does give you that Aliens vibe. So first off, looking here, kind of reminds me of Boba Fett and his armor. A very similar color to the front of the armor, all scratched up and beat up, which I think looks good. So it looks like right there, like maybe he's been shot, a few scratches. So this guy's taking some bullets. Good thing nothing hit above any of this. It only hit right there. Your nice little red triggers here. Just a couple little, I would assume those are rivets, kind of holding this whole thing together. On the back here, we have Man-Portable Heavy Weapons System. So that looks very interesting. And then here you have the computer and the diagnostics on the back. So it makes me wonder, is this something that he can put down? He can use this in, put it behind something and fire it himself from behind, or if he's going to need somebody to be behind him, helping him take care of it, just kind of like they used to do with the old M60, where one person would kind of push up against them because of the kickback on it. All right, so there's everything on that. This thing is going to move around. I do like the fact that they put just a little bit of paint right here on the grip, and then you can obviously see where the trigger is. That's going to fire these big old cannons. All right. These look more like laser. These look more like lasers than machine guns. Again, it is your imagination. You play with it however you want. No one can come and take it away from you, except for your mom or your dad. All right. A little bit of detail right on the side. Nothing here on the top. Again, a little bit of ventilation running along the barrels, and it looks like they do have ports for blast effects. You got the peg here, so you can kind of plug that thing directly into it. All right. So now let's see how we get this whole thing together. All right. So this looks like this is the ammo box. So these are actual bullets. It goes underneath like this. All right. So this thing's just gonna plug in just like that. And then obviously these things would just plug in here or at the bottom. Right here, it's kind of showing me that it's going to be down lower. So I have a feeling. All right, well, I guess that fits. Then it can actually turn if need be. This kind of reminds me of when you're trying to, if you have the trouble bubble, putting that gun on, it feels like you're going to break it. This kind of has this little system. Now that side actually popped on. This side just felt like it smushed on. I guess that's the best way to put it. All right. Well, I guess is that a port in the middle? Looks like there's a port in the middle for blast effects. But that's not where these guns really fire from. Again, I'm kind of nitpicking a toy. Now here I heard a nice little pop. Now these are mirrored. So they are different. Each one is different. You can't just put them on the wrong way. All right. So now, just gonna kind of leave that right there. This is the piece that goes on in the front. It looks like it feels like right there, it's supposed to plug into something. Ah, when that thing comes down. Okay, so this is going to hold it all together. So this is the glue that holds this whole desk together. All right. And I'm assuming these are the ammo canisters. All right. And even that has some detail that it's been through a little bit of a battle. All right. So throw that in there. I do apologize. Thank you for sticking around. Please take a second. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Now these are going to plug into the back here. I believe this thing is going to slide all the way through. And it's going to stick out just like that. Then you're going to plug the... well, they slide up there pretty nicely. So once they slide up there, they're not tight. They're not super tight. They fit good. And then it just kind of stays right there. All right. Now let's take a look at our heavy duty. And I've never been a huge fan of this figure. Or this character. I can't say this figure because he's brand new. All right. So, quickly we'll take a look up here. And it looks like, is that a Joe Pro or a radio? All right. Some sort of radio, but it almost looks like they're going back to the Joe Pro, which I do like. We got two pineapple grenades. The green right here just kind of showing a little bit of padding that wraps all the way around. And on the back, we can kind of see there's like a leather strap and a little bit of detail. And there you have your, I want to say your hook, but your buckle, so it holds together. All right. Lime green hat. Not my favorite looking hat there. It's a shred head. So this does look like it is. Looking at that, I did not play this. It kind of reminds me of the Guitar Hero lettering. So let me know if you played games. Is this supposed to be Guitar Hero? Again, this neon green, and then you have a flipped up bill. Now this is a skateboarder's dream. Back in the 80s, Tony Hawk wore it like this. I believe I did it. I hate wearing a brim like this. But anyway, if you're gonna crack your neck backwards, you're definitely gonna need to do that. All right, and even here, look at that. They give you 3 little spots of where it's gonna be clicked in. That looks good. Definitely have his earrings right there. Same goatee, same eyes, and a stoic face. And it is nice to have this. I don't mind having a hat as long as it fits on properly. But I also don't mind having an extra head. So you can easily make a second figure out of this if you want. But they have very similar face sculpts. One just has has the head on. And like even here, it looks like right there. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be his hairline kind of protruding through there. But look at the hat. Even the detail on the hat of where the stitching is, the air vent, the air holes, and then that little knob. You know what? If you ever see a friend wearing a hat, smack him on the top of that. It will hurt so damn bad. All right. So, as for the look of him here, this is a new, I believe this is a new chest. I don't remember anything, a collared shirt that's like this. If I'm wrong, please feel free to let me know in the comments. Got some pockets right there, pockets over here, and they do have the buttons. On the butterfly, here on your butterfly, I like what they did here. They have it kind of sticking out, and it is definitely torn. All right. He's got his watch right here. Where his blood pressure is at 73 beats per minute. His blood pressure, his heart rate. And then he has another, a watch or another bracelet. Now, I'm not really sure what that bracelet is. But whatever it is, he has it on. And I'm willing to bet that if you pop off the hands, these are going to come off with it, so just be very careful. But you can kind of look at the detail in his arms. This guy is absolutely jacked and ripped. All right. Couple more grenades here on his belt. Looks like he's got a sheath for the knife. That all looks really good. Here you can see how it is connected. What is that? I'm trying to look at this here. It just has a couple little, I would say, leather straps there, and then you have your buckle here. As for his actual belt here, you can see the loops, and if you've been watching my classic reviews of the G.I. Joe O-rings, you know I absolutely love that. So the belt does run through here, and then you have this weird triangular camouflage, right? It does look good. I'm not sure the purpose of it. It kind of reminds me of those that game you play at Cracker Barrel. Got a pouch right here, and then just kind of run it all the way down the leg here. He does have some knee pads, and I love the fact here when you get to his boots, you can actually see the shoestrings kind of running across. And then you have this nice green just going right down there, and then a sheath on this leg for the knife. There's your boots. All right, so he's got a little bit of a heel right there. All right. And then we didn't even talk about his necklace. So this is supposed to be, I believe, a Chicago Bulls necklace, a Brahma Bull, whatever you want to call. I believe he's from the Chicago area. It's nice they could do this, but can't get the Marine EGA. And people get really mad about that. So here's this nice gold chain. And I do think that looks pretty good. Nice little detail on that that Brahma Bull right there. So, all right. I guess you can kind of push this down. As for his articulation, he can't really look up. That's something the classified team really needs to fix. We can have figures look up. He can't really look down. He can go side to side. And he is kind of like on that neck system. All right. There's his T-pose. I have not heated this figure up. It's been in my house, I guess, an hour or so. Bicep swivel. Double pinless joints. You have your wrists. He feels really smooth. I mean, really smooth. No problems. As for his butterfly joints, if we twist it up here, they do have butterfly joints. Again, they are more for aesthetic. That is my biggest gripe when it comes to butterfly joints. It does allow them to go further back, but if I can't do a crossover and kind of have a pistol holding, it bothers me. He has your diaphragm cut that people like more than the ab crunch. I actually still like the ab crunch more. So it allows them to bend over here. It allows them to go back. Can turn side to side. And then his Jean-Claude Van Damme, which is really good. Drop down hips. Thigh swivel. Pinless double knees. Boot cut. Ankle rockers. And he's a really smooth feeling figure. So, all right. So, let's kind of arm him up. See how he looks. We'll swap out his head. Put everything on him. And then go from there. So, we have one knife. We're just going to sheath in right down there. Now, I'm sorry, but every figure should come with, even though this guy is kitted out with this big armory, I'd rather him have a sidearm and some sort of rifle, whether it be an M16, maybe, you know, maybe the little MP4 or MP5, whatever one comes with torpedo. All right. As for the guy here, you know, quickly, I want to stand him up. And he's supposed to be Roadblock's cousin. We know people have a huge issue with Leatherneck being so much smaller than Gung Ho and this guy, and people think he's small. Technically, he's the same size as Airborne. But wow, this guy is yeah, so he's as tall as Roadblock, which will make him just as tall as Gung Ho also. So here we have another big figure, and now we have arms to do another Roadblock if they want to do a pinless version. And I'll quickly, I can't grab him. Let me just grab him. So here we can see exactly how much shorter he is than the original Beachhead. So I have no issue with different sizes in the action figures. Oops, I'm hitting the tripod. I have no issues with different sizes of figures. It seems like this is a problem for some people, but people are not all the same height, let me tell you. I know this because I'm pretty damn short. All right. So how do we put this thing on? How easy it is. There's a nice tight fit right there. This is going to come down. Then that bandolier might need to be removed. I guess it doesn't need to be. And we're going to plug or connect this right in the front. So there you go with that. We got the handles right here. I hope nothing went off screen. He can grab this. It's going to be a really Not the easiest to get him posed this way. All right. Definitely not the easiest to get him posed this way. Definitely have to pull his hands apart. And if you're wondering, hey, why are you doing this? Like, I like to show people exactly what you're going to be getting into. How hard is it to pose him like this? All right. And I did hear someone say, you know what, this guy is just going to be stuck in this standing position. That's the only way once he's fully... Wow. So it is going to be a struggle to get him fully loaded out this way. All right. I'm just going to say that. This piece is actually, I think, supposed to go on maybe first. And then you're going to slide it to connect this. All right. So there he goes. He sits like this. If you heard that scream, that was my son. All right. And yeah, I do not use stands. So if you want to get this guy to shoot up, unfortunately he can't really look up. His guns can fire up. Same with his rockets. It would be nice if he was able to look up. All right. So you are going to have to pretty much use a static. I mean, he's going to have a regular standing pose. Just pretty upright. I did have him standing a minute ago. Then I switched his legs. Moved his legs around. So he's able to stand. All right. I'm able to stand, able to get his hands on there. You can see, you can only do so many poses like this. Oh, this is frustrating. But there you go. That's how that is. Let's pop everything off him quickly and see how he looks firing the rockets. How he looks with the headset on. I'm going to pop the head off first here. All right. Head popped off real easy. I think we want to leave that on, right? As much as possible. I got to say, I can't really see myself using this head too much, considering I think that just gives him a lot of character. All right. So as for the eyepiece, it looks like it is. So it goes over the ear like that. All right. And then I just, what the hell is this thing for? I mean, I know what it's for. So he's only protecting, I guess, one ear with that. There's his head, or his headphones here. What is that? His earmuffs. We call them earmuffs right now. This is a long video. I apologize, guys. I didn't expect this to be that long. All right. As for popping one of these things off. Oh, come on. All right. How is he going to be able to fire this? So, I mean, I guess it works like that, but he has nothing to protect him, right? If you put it up closer like this, well, first off, it ain't even going to fit, but it absolutely blow off his shoulder. So I'm assuming it's going to go this way for his rocket launcher. Again, I think you're going to be able to do some pretty good poses with this figure. But to be 100% honest, it's going to take a little bit. As for the hands, pop off nice and easy. And like I mentioned, his watch is going to come off. And then we can throw a nice fist on him. So I do like the fact that he's as tall as Roadblock. So it does make them fit together. Same with Gung Ho. It's really going to make people mad because they're going to go, why couldn't they use these legs with leather neck? Because people are going to be mad that he's tall and leather neck is not. So there you go. that is a little bit of the, I guess is my review for Heavy Duty. I don't want to keep going on for too long. There's a lot of stuff. Not going to be the easiest to pose. All right, so there you have it. That is the Heavy Duty review. His contraption. It's, you know, if you're going to do something like this, I don't know if there's an easy way to put it all together to make them pose really well, okay? This is one of these real novelty figures. I actually think the buck, I think the face sculpt, I think this character, the figure looks really good. I'm not a huge fan of that. I mean, I kind of like that better than Metalhead's, but I kind of like the idea of Metalhead more because he's, you know, Iron Grenadier, and he might be using stuff like that, just weird stuff. So anyway, there he is. If you want him, go pick him up. He does have a lot of stuff. Again, I think the figure is good. I think the buck is actually really good. You better believe he's going to be getting different weapons also, because he needs a rifle, right? I mean, even with all that stuff, the guy needs a rifle because eventually he's going to have to dump that thing and make it explode so it doesn't get in Cobra's. Cobra's clutches. Not Cobra Clutch. But anyway, there you go. If you want them, go out and get them. Have fun. Thank you for sticking around this long. Man, I did not expect this video to be that long, but hey, that's kind of what happens when you're watching my reviews, and you know how I go about things. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Please don't go anywhere. Take a second. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a classified video. Now, I don't remember the last classified video that I did, but you're like, it has been so long. What else have you done? Well, right up here is I'm going to drop the last classified video I did, and here will be a playlist of all the G.I. Joe classified figures that I've reviewed, which I think is all but Pimp Daddy Destro. I got to go back and just do that. Take care.